Hello.
Hi.
What you cooking?
Mozzarella stuffed chicken parm.
My favorite. Thank you, babes.
You're welcome.
The Way, the Truth, and the Light. A Sage Willow's masterpiece. Look at this. Guys, I'm excited for today's video because I finally found the full secret to life. The entire answer that I've been looking for, that you've probably been looking for, I've got it. I've literally cracked the code, and I'm quite excited to share it with you in this video. And I know what it all is. Like, I've studied every tradition, every religious tradition, every spiritual framework, from the esoteric to the atheistic to really everything that you can study, and I've found the ultimate secret. So here we go. Buckle in. I'm going to tell you what to do, and you're going to hopefully do it. But yeah, it's about to be lit. So strap on in. I've got my light here. I've got my camera, and I'm ready to break this down for you. So guys, there's basically a 3-part structure to this secret of life and the answer to life. And I made a video about this recently, but I've added something to it that I think was missing. And this is just like a bit of a different angle. So when people are asking for the secret to life, I think the first thing, the first reason that they want to know that is because typically they're going through some kind of a painful process in their life. Like, whatever is happening in the circumstances of their life, they're just not happy with those circumstances. So maybe they don't have, enough money. Maybe they don't have enough of a love life. Maybe they don't have the friends they want. Maybe they don't have the living situation, the amount of travel, the work life, whatever. People basically are looking for this answer because they have what they don't want. And they're like, well, what's the answer to life? Because my life isn't what I want. So what do I do to get what I want? And that's really the start of the fall. The fall of of man is thinking that life is about getting what you want. That is step number 1. Now, in a way it is. It's paradoxical because it is about getting what you want, but you have to readjust your desire, and you have to realize that the game of getting what you want externally is different than the game of getting what you want internally. If you think about it, a lot of people, most people watching this, what they want is an external thing. They're saying, well, I want to have, I want to have more money. I want to have a bigger house. I want to have a different house in a different place. I want to have more houses. I want to have an apartment here. I want to have an apartment there. I want to have a business here. I want to be creative, and I want a legacy, and I want to be remembered, and I want to create art, and I want to DJ, and I want to have a business that makes a lot of money, and I don't want to sacrifice either, and I want a partner, and I want a woman who's beautiful but is also into sports and is also cooks for me and is also into painting and has hobbies, but also wants to be a mother, but also somehow makes money. You want all these things, right? And these are all external desires. And so the reason life is not about getting what you want is because it's not about externally getting what you want. And what you realize is that even if you get what you want externally, the reason you wanted it externally is because of how you thought it would make you feel internally. The reason that you think you want things externally, a bigger house, different girlfriend, different wife, different life, different height, different face, the reason you want all of that, better health, is because you think that the way that you feel externally will fix how you feel internally, which is empty. And so that's the first paradigm shift. You have to realize that you're doing everything externally in order to generate a feeling internally. So very first thing is to switch your paradigm and realize that no matter what, the whole of the game is internal. Now, what does that mean? Well, life is about getting what you want internally. If you shift from getting what you want externally to shifting what you want internally, you ascend. You reach the higher level. You reach a new destiny. You reach a completely different paradigm of reality. You reach the higher tier of ascension that everyone is after. And as a result of that, you actually are able to attract new circumstances and in the blink of an eye transform your entire life. Like when you're slaving through life trying to get things externally, it's a slow, painful process of constantly being pulled back inward. Because when you're super hyper focused on the external and trying to get happiness from the external, you're just going to be constantly pulled back internal through pain. Because happiness doesn't come from the external, it comes from the internal. So, what do? How do you reverse this flow of energy? Because your flow of energy is super focused on what I want externally, and it's not what I want. Okay, you're like, my life isn't what I want. Here, there, everywhere, every category. So, the very first thing you have to do is realize that one, your new desire is not to get what you want externally. It's to your new desire is essentially to please God and to ascend your soul. Please God and ascend your soul back to God. That's it. To connect with God, to convene with God, and to ascend your soul. Now, what does this mean? Before any of you atheists freak out, I hope you realize this will work into an atheistic framework. This will work into a Jewish framework, a Christian framework, a Muslim framework, a Hindu framework. It's all the same. It's literally all preaching the same thing of external games and internal games. And so when we shift to this mode of saying, my life is to connect with God and to ascend my soul to God, you play that game, there's life becomes a constant leveling up of joy, happiness, peace, excitement, exhilaration, inspiration. And what it means, first of all, what is God and what is the soul? You kind of have to get clear on these things. So God, right, is just the representation of the emanating, life-giving, energetic, vibrationary current that is in you and all around you. That is God. That's all it is. Can an atheist say that that's not real? No. It's connected to everything, so it's omnipresent. It is all-knowing because it comprises all knowledge and all things. It's connected to everything, and it's in you, and it's in everything. And it's just a total ascension of all. It's a total connection of everything and is everything. And you are a part of that. And so you have a piece of you, a unique piece of you that is a soul, that is within you, that has the capacity to ascend to higher and higher levels. And basically constantly remember that you are a part of this greater energetic emanating current force that is God. Now, there are great masters throughout time, going back to as far as Krishna, to Abraham, to Moses, to Jesus, to Muhammad, to even current day masters, Yogananda. And these teachers were all trying to tell us the same thing. They were all trying to show us, and some of them, more than others, were connected to this source on a consistent basis. Buddha, they were trying to tell us that it's an internal game. The kingdom of heaven comes not with signs that can be perceived. The kingdom of heaven, behold, is within. So, that's the kingdom of heaven. It's very, very easy definition. That's what God is. And to convene with God and to ascend your soul, all it means is to connect within, connect to that piece of you, within you, the soul, that intuitively is connected to everything that is. That's all it really means. It's to consistently connect with that. First thing in the morning, this is why Yogananda, Jesus said, seek God first. And this is why it's the first song of the 8 a.m. album, because it means when you start the day by connecting to that ever-emanating energetic force, that's step one. Because when you connect to that stream of energy, if you don't stray from it, is a constant source of abundance, of feeling peace and joy and just goodness. That alone. And when you start from realizing that your body is like your system, this body meat suit that you're in, is really just an energetic boat that can carry that frequency and does carry that frequency. And the more that you remember that and tune into that and tap into that, the more that the more that it grows, the more that that frequency in you becomes your dominant frequency throughout the day. But you have to consistently practice, because what happens is we practice for a little and then we get distracted in the mind, and then we get distracted by fears and insecurities and anxieties, and we go away from that current. But that current is within you. It is your base vibration. And I know it because I've been practicing this for a while. But it takes a bit of time to consistently remember. Even after watching this video, you're like, well, I know the secret now. Why isn't my life better? And it's like, well, you have to consistently practice. You have to meditate. And meditation just means connecting to that energy, connecting to God, connecting to your soul, and doing that consistently every day, twice a day, sometimes even 3 times a day. And having reverence for that energetic force and honoring it and making peace with it. So that is like really step number 1. It's connecting to that powerful, energetic, emanating current and doing it twice a day. Now, the next part of it, this is a big part, because everybody, we have a desire to experience peace and joy and fulfillment. Now, that peace and joy and fulfillment comes from God. It doesn't come from external things. It doesn't even come from creating. But that energetic force, the more you create, the more you connect to that force, the more you will desire to create. Okay, the more you will desire to create. And the desire to create is the vibratory effect that connecting to that energy gives to you. So when you connect to that energy, you will naturally feel an urge within your soul to create things. And this is where people are like, well, I got to make money, but I also want to make music. This was at least me, right? So what you do is, after you meditate, the protocol is you align to God, you align to your soul, your ascension, then you create. Immediately after. Couple hours, 1 to 2 hours, first thing in the morning, align, then create, then take care of your body, then you focus on making money. With your soul filled, and then your true soul's desire of creation, regardless of money, is filled, then you can focus on making money. And when you're in the more practical, maybe you have a job right now, maybe you have, clients, maybe you have an agency, maybe you have an e-com store, whatever, that isn't directly super linked to your creation, like your artistic legacy, whatever it might be. It's harder to focus on that thing when you haven't filled up your cup. But when you filled up your cup by meditating, aligning to God, aligning to joy, and you have spent some time creating something that's for your legacy, like whatever, maybe you want to be a painter like Sage Willows. You do that for a couple hours. The thing is, you don't want to be a starving artist, right? So you still have to have your day job, right? And whatever that is, maybe it's having an AI business, maybe it's having an agency, maybe it's having an e-com store, whatever it is. Maybe it's a day job, who knows? So as long as you fill up your cup and then you go into make money, it takes on a completely new form. When you have a full cup, you go back into the work that you normally do, it is totally different. It is totally fulfilling. Now, when you start to make money from your job or your side hustle or whatever, or your artistic calling, whatever it might be, you then become more magnetic. You begin to attract people that maybe turn into a relationship, maybe turn into friends, etc. And there's a famous philosopher named Jean-Paul Sartre who said in his famous story, No Exit, that hell is other people. And so it's often we attract people into our life, business partners or, relationships that we think bring us misery, right? We think we're very happy in this honeymoon phase, and then all of a sudden something changes, and that person is no longer making us happy. they're doing something we don't like, we're in a state of questioning, is this person the right person, blah, blah, blah. All of that. And so what do you do about people? What do you do about people? Well, you have to remember, life is not about external circumstances, once again, making you happy. The people in your life are not there to make you happy. Your wife is not there to make you happy. Your business partners are not there to treat you well. Your business partners, your friends are not there to be loyal to you, right? People are just there, and you are connected to the current of God, of the universe. And no matter what happens externally, no matter what trials happen, you constantly tap back in to that frequency of truth, of God, of love, and you view every bad thing that happens to you as a test to see if you can still share love even when you are treated not the right way that you want to be treated. Now, this doesn't mean be a pushover and don't have any boundaries and keep shitty people in your life. That's not what it means. But what it does mean is that nobody is going to be the source of your happiness. Nobody ever. Maybe people will do things miraculously that make you happy, but you can't expect them to. And so if you have a reasonable, good relationship, if you have a reasonable business partner, if you have a reasonable, group of friends, people will let you down. However, when you shift to a mode of always connecting to that source and you just are a giver, you don't really, when people let you down, as they naturally will, you don't get upset about it, okay? So that's the secret. That's the secret. You connect with people, you give to them. When they don't do exactly what you want them to do, you don't get upset about it. You align every morning, you create something for your legacy, you then focus on making money, and then you make friends, you travel the world, and when people don't treat you that amazing, it's okay, don't worry about it. Just give value, just make them happy. And your cup is full. When your cup is full the way I'm describing, nothing can touch you. Now there's other bad things that can happen, obviously, in your life, and the external world, remember, will basically always let you down. The stock market will crash. It's like this constant up and down flow. Sometimes things will be going great externally, but a lot of it is out of your control. Someone you might care about might get sick. Someone you love might cheat on you. All these things externally, your business might fail, right? New AI software comes out that makes your job extinct, and you're sad for a while. Okay, so all of these things, remember, externally they might happen, but you have to remember the secret to life is going within. The secret to life is inward and upward ascension, and that's really it. So, if this video resonated with you, you're probably going to be a good fit for 8 a.m. World. This is the kind of concepts we talk about, and we follow this protocol, and you should apply. If this resonated with you, you should go to 8amapp.com and apply, and you'll hear from someone on my team, and then we'd love to have you inside. So that's it, the secret to life. Hopefully this was useful to you. See you in the next video. Peace.